Welcome to my first tier list video, and what better way to get it kicked off than with the Halloween franchise. I promised you guys a ranking video. I wasn't able to get to it because I've been super busy, but I'm going to give you a tier list. So let's go ahead and get started. So the Halloween franchise, you know what? I've seen every one of these movies countless times. I've grown up with them. And with Halloween Ends being one of my last reviews that I posted up, including the Curse of Michael Myers, instead of going with a ranking video, I've seen a lot of creators, Cody and a few others that I follow, do a tier list video. I've never done one. So I set up my first tier list video, and let me go over the rankings that I've created. The first one is the very bottom tier. We're talking garbage. I have that listed as God has nothing to do with this place. You get it? You get it?
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place.
So that is bottom dumpster fire clown shoes joke. Okay. The next one is Taco Deluxe. And hey, Taco Deluxe talking back at me, brother.
I got a Taco Deluxe Supreme talking back at me. Gonna be a while.
Anyway, that's going to be like meh type of category. Then we have I Shot Him 6 Times, which is in itself, the first time you hear it, amazing, but over time it really hasn't aged well and becomes kind of cliche. So that's going to be very average. Like, it's okay.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him 6 times. Shot him 6 times.
The next one is See Anything You Like, which is like, hey, it's pretty good. Yeah, I do kind of like it. I do enjoy that. I enjoy what I'm looking at.
See anything you like?
And the last is top tier masterpiece that I have listed as He Had the Blackest Eyes. The Devil's Eyes.
The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
So now that you know my tier ranking, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first selection here is Halloween 2, the original sequel. That one, you know what, I really enjoy. I grew up with that as a natural sequel to the original Halloween of 1978. And it still holds up for me, in my opinion. I know the kills are a little bit different. I know Carpenter wasn't a director at that point. They had a different mask. But I still love it as a sequel to the original film. So that one I am going to rank Halloween 2 as... You know what? I'm going to say average. I shot him 6 times. Okay, we're going to go with that for Halloween 2, the original. Now, Halloween 3, I recently rediscovered as an adult. I know that's kind of gained popularity over the past, 20 years or so. It's aged like fine wine, as they say. And I recently did a watch along with CP on my channel. So if you'd like to watch that, the link will be right there. But Halloween 3, I appreciate for what it is. It's an anthology piece. We're going to use a Halloween name and create different stories, as was the original concept. And I wish they would have actually held true to that. And you know what? Now that this past trilogy has been completed, maybe that's something they can re-explore, because I'm kind of done with the Michael Myers and Laurie Strode storyline. So for Halloween 3, with its epic soundtrack that I play daily with my work mix, this is going to go to He Had the Blackest Eyes. Awesome. It has aged like fine wine, and I love it. Top tier Halloween material, people. Top tier. Oh, and this next one, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. You know what? I recently saw this again. And this one, out of the entire Halloween filmography, you know what I'm going to say? This movie had balls. And what I mean by that is that it ended with an actual great cliffhanger and a natural transition of the Michael character, where you have Jamie at the end who killed, I believe, her stepmom, and she's just standing there at the end, top of the stairs, and Loomis is like, no. That's a cool ending, and cuts to black. That is a perfect ending. So this one, I feel, is top tier. So Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, is going to go He Had the Blackest Eyes. Devil's Eyes. So that's top tier, my opinion. Okay, Halloween 5, which was a sequel to Part 4, obviously. This one was very weak. I believe it had a French director. There was like some comedic cops that were in the film that felt incredibly misplaced. I just never, it really confused me as a kid, and watching it now, it just doesn't fit at all. I understand them wanting to go with a different direction, a different tone, but this one does not work. And at the end, it falls apart. They're introducing this character with the spurs and top hat, which at the time they've admitted they had no idea who he was or how he related to Michael. And the end is just a complete mess. So part 5, I'm going to say that is a Taco Deluxe. It's like, it's okay. They could have done better. Now, the Curse of Michael Myers, I just recently did a comparison, and I'll have the link up there if you want to see me comparing the producer's cut to the theatrical cut. And I remember seeing this film in the movies and just everybody just laughing their asses off at the end and walking out pissed because we had no idea what happened to Loomis. It just is a horrible edited cut. So in comparing the theatrical cut to the producer's cut, I'll tell you now, I enjoy the producer's cut a whole lot better. There's a consistent tone and mythology that they're using with Michael and the Samhain tribe, witch, warlock, whatever you want to call it. It makes sense. I love how they did. What's his name? Paul Rudd defeats Michael at the end using its own religion and culture to stop him by putting that, marker and rocks on the ground. I thought that was really cool. So it's cool, but it's still garbage. I still don't like it. And I understand there's a fan base for this and I understand you're passionate about it and you may be angry at me saying this, but hey, that's just my opinion. If you love it, more power to you. But the Curse of Michael Myers is going to be garbage. It's going to be bottom tier, dumpster shoes, clown shoes, a walking joke. God has nothing to do with this place.
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place.
Now, Halloween H2O, I love it because, again, at the time, it was the closing of a trilogy with Laurie Strode and this character. It was a 90s film. It feels very 90s. And I remember seeing this in the theaters and everybody having a great time. Granted, Michael is not in the film a whole lot, but I do love where they take Laurie Strode's character as far as she's still being affected by the trauma of the evenings in 1978. She's a mother now. She's got a teenage son. She's got a career. So I do like the amount of time and effort that went into Laurie Strode as a character overall. And the final 15, 20 minutes, I believe, when Michael is just killing everybody, I do like the tension in there. I do like Michael kind of climbing down from the bar, and the ending felt very final. It felt very satisfying to close out a trilogy. So Halloween H2O, in my opinion, is going to be See Anything You Like. That is, my opinion, a very good film that I can revisit and play the Creed soundtrack all the time. There's a Creed Michael Myers video on YouTube. You got to check it out. Next is Halloween Resurrection, and it's garbage. That's all I'm going to say. It's garbage. But you know what? I did see it again recently, and I will admire that it was using the internet and technology as a main focal point in the Halloween movie, which had never been done before. I do like how Dangertainment and Busta Rhymes lock everybody into this haunted area, aka Ghost Adventures and Zach Baggins. So you're seeing internet stardom starting. You're seeing the lockdown concept before it took off with Ghost Adventures. So you see the birth and genesis of internet culture and YouTubers in that film. So I can appreciate the cultural stamp and placement of the film, and everybody at that party checking out the web cameras all in their 280i card of video, horrible choppy video. But I appreciate the time that it reminds me of the birth and the innocence and the genesis of the internet. But as far as a story, it's garbage. So that's bottom tier. Next is the Halloween reboot of 2018 Halloween. I'm just going to call it Halloween 2018. This one I loved. I remember leaving the theater and I absolutely loved the film. I was excited. Me and my daughter has seen it. It was everything I wanted. But something happened. I'm not sure what it was. On my third rewatch, it's slowly just, I was getting bored of the film. And to this day, every time it's come on, I'm engaged the first hour or so. But after that, I kind of lose interest. I don't know why. So again, when I saw it, I absolutely loved it. I gave it like a perfect 10, 100 out of 100, but that's just fandom talking. But as of now, looking back, it's okay. So this one is going to be average. I shot him 6 times. Average. It's all right. Nothing memorable. Halloween Kills is a controversial pick. I was one of the first, only maybe a few people who leaving the theater loved Kills. Again, I don't go into Halloween movies expecting a Coen Brothers film, like well-written script and dialogue. I don't expect any of that crap. I just want cool kills, a great mask, and a great soundtrack. That's all I look for in Halloween films, right? So with Kills, it's just torture porn, I guess. Not torture porn. It's just Michael just going all out, killing everything. So I enjoyed it. And you know what? I can see the complaints and I can see the criticisms that people say, like, people don't talk that way. Evil dies tonight. I know it was kind of a reflection of just the hordes and just the panic that we were kind of experiencing during the COVID time. They're trying to make horror pivotal to the social narrative that was going on. And if you think about it, that's always been a common denominator with any horror film going back to, the first film ever made. And even, with social civil rights, with Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, I'm sorry. So you have all that in place, and I get what they were doing. Maybe it'll age better. I get the criticism again of people who did enjoy it, but I actually like Kills, and it's actually the best soundtrack, in my opinion, of the new trilogy. I play that the most, especially the opening title screen sequence. I think it's track 1. So Halloween Kills, believe it or not, is going to be up there for me. So See Anything You Like, very good. I do enjoy Kills. All right. And of course, we have right now the original 1978 film, the trend-setting film that started everything. If you think about it, it's funny how at the time this film was made, no one had ever thought about naming a movie after a holiday. And after that, of course, you had Friday the 13th, April Fool's Day, Valentine's Day, all these films, Black Christmas. So all these horror films started taking a holiday and running with it, a murder concept. But Halloween was the first. And of course, it's brilliant. I've done an in-depth video, one of my first videos. So if you ever want to see like me just go off when I first started on YouTube talking about how much I love Halloween, click right there. I think you'll enjoy it. But Halloween, of course, is a masterpiece. What else can be said about it? So it's top tier masterpiece. He had the blackest eyes. Next is Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends, I don't know yet. Like I've said in many lives with Cody, CP, and myself, even my review, I'm like, I don't know. It's not a horrible film. It's not garbage. It's not a great film. You can see hints of what they were trying to do in the film as far as saying that Michael's presence was a contagion of evil and anybody around him would or got in contact with him would therefore be infected. I get the idea, but it sounds like a tacked on idea at the very end. Like they had an original plan and they came up with this Corey Cunningham character, which after my 5th viewing, I do have sympathy toward him. I've kind of got out of my own head and pulled my head out of my own ass and just decided just to watch it for what it is. And I get it. It's a tragic tale of just a good guy consumed by evil. So it is sad. I do get that. I'm still glad that kid died and fell in off the stairs because he was a little prick. But I just wish it was executed better. I wish Corey Cunningham was introduced in the original 2018 as just some kid. Like, hey, Corey, why don't you go home? Your dad's looking for you. Something like that. I think that would have been great. But to not really... Again, it feels like a tacked on idea. Maybe it'll age like the Season of the Witch. Maybe it won't. I don't know. So I'm still undecided. So for me, it's going to be It's going to be Taco Deluxe. Okay, I can do with or without it. Maybe in time that'll change. I don't know. And next is Halloween, the Rob Zombie remake. I believe it 2006. I just met the other day Tyler Mane at a Comic-Con here in San Antonio. The dude is 6'8". I'm 5'9". I look like Frodo next to this dude, but he's the nicest guy ever. Smile, very warm handshake, very attentive to all my questions and all my comments. Made eye contact the entire time. So Tyler Mane, if you're watching this, you're awesome, dude. Pleasure to meet you. But in my opinion, he's also the most terrifying Michael Myers that we have, of course, because of his size and presence. I've said this many times in other lives that Halloween, any Rob Zombie film, but especially Halloween, for some reason, it was difficult for me to watch the kills. I remember upon my second viewing, I couldn't watch it because the kills were just... They felt very personal. I don't know what it was. It was very disturbing for me to watch. Over time, I've become desensitized over that. But Halloween, aside from the cringe dialogue at the very beginning, I do appreciate Rob Zombie making an effort to kind of give us some exposition on Michael's upbringing and showing us the kind of home that he was raised in and possibly why he became the way he became. So I do appreciate that, that Rob Zombie hillbilly take at the very beginning. Of course, the second half of that movie is just a remake of the original film, but just Rob Zombie. I do like Malcolm McDowell as Dr. Loomis. I love the casting. I love Richard Dorff, Mr. Dorff. I forgot his first name. Brad Dorff as a sheriff. That's excellent casting. The casting's phenomenal. I love this film. I love that. I love the fact that he brought Danielle Harris in as a kind of to make up for how she was treated for part 6. So I do appreciate Halloween. Again, some of the dialogue's a little cringy that some may not like. It's cringy to me myself, but I do appreciate the modernization of it and a different take for the Michael Myers character. So this one is going to be very good. This one's going to be See Anything You Like. So I did appreciate that. And last, we have Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie sequel. You know what? I've said a lot of things live that I think this is garbage. I even ranked it last on my Rob Zombie rankings video that I did about a month back. Again, you can check it out there. You know what? After Ends, I think this particular film is growing on me. It's not the worst film in the entire Halloween filmography. It's growing on me. I appreciate the different take that Dr. Loomis is becoming this prima donna. I like that Michael Myers was just this hillbilly, this homeless man living in the mountains with a grown beard. I like that version of Myers. If you're going to have a time jump of like so many years, I will take Rob Zombie's Michael Myers versus the Halloween Ends Michael Myers, where he was just in the sewer and more or less looks the same. I do like how everything was kind of falling apart. The mask was tearing up in half, the beard. So I like that version of Michael Myers better. The White Horse, I don't give a fuck about that. So again, I'm not saying it's the greatest Halloween film. I'm not saying it's okay or very good. I'm going to say that it's better than it's growing on me. So Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie film, is no longer bottom bullshit, horrible Halloween film that, in my opinion, right now it's okay. I'm going to give it an okay. I shot him 6 times. It's average. So it's growing on me. It may grow higher as the years go on. I don't know. But everybody, if you enjoyed this tier list video, my first ever, I'm going to do a couple more because this is fun, easy. I like shooting from the hip instead of having to prepare and write notes. I appreciate how fun and engaging this is. And let me know if you enjoyed it. I hope you did. Leave some likes up there, comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. I also want to thank Jeremy Hobbs, who is my latest Patreon. Thank you so much for your contribution. You've joined my short list of awesome Patreons. I also want to thank publicly again Dario Valdez, Veronica Gonzalez, Brady, Ashea Bishop, and Sunny Planos. Thank you. You guys are the best. I fucking appreciate it. If you'd like to be a Patreon, the links are down below. This contributes not only to my YouTube channel, but my second YouTube channel where I give advice, and also my TikTok account and my podcast. So it's going to help with the entire enterprise, so to speak. I know that's a fancy word, but you know what I mean. And as always, I know you can watch any video on YouTube, but you chose to watch this one. It really means a lot to me. I'll see you next time. Take care.